Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are diving into a real useful feature of server component in React, how to handle loading and error state effectively. While managing these states in clamp component often require complex logic and multiple variable server component. Server component offer a much cleaner and more regularity approach. We will see how just two special files, loading.tsx and error.js, can make your app more responsive, organized, and easy to maintain. So if you are using Next.js 15 or later, or planning to adopt server component, this video is for you. Let's get started. So first of all discuss that how we can implement loading and array state in server component. So while client component require you to manage state manually using separate variable and conditional rendering, server component make this approach much cleaner and more streamlined. To implement loading state in server component, all you need to do is to define and export a React component in a file named loading.js. Don't worry, we are just creating in our example of this video today so that you can easily understand how we can implement loading and array state. So we are creating these two files in our example, and I'll show you how we can implement this in the server component. Similarly, for handling errors, you simply define and export a React component in error.js file. This approach not only keeps your code base organized but also leverages the built-in support of the server component architecture for better user experience and performance. So let's move on to the Visual Studio Code and let's start implementing loading and array state in user server component. So let's move on to the Visual Studio Code. So here you can see we are reached out to our Visual Studio Code, where in the last video we have implementing the data fetching technique in server component, and now we are going to implement the loading and array state in server component. For this, first of all, let's implement the loading first, and after that we can implement the array state in this particular folder. So first of all, we go to the user server and click on a new file with the name. We create a file with the name loading.tsx file over here. Okay, inside that we can create export default function, and function name could be a loading page. Inside that we can passing a return statement. Inside that we can pass creating a 2D using the tailwind CSS. So in this we can use flexed item center. Then we can use justify center. Then let's scream. Okay, after that we have another div. Inside this we also implementing another class with the name animate spin. After animate we have rounded full, and we have the height of 32, width of 32, border of border T2 from top, and border bottom of 2. Then we have border of, we are not taking red, we are taking black because I have the background as white, so we can take it as black. Now this is the loading page function which we have created into the user server component. So now this is we have implemented the animate spinner which with the help of tailwind CSS. Now let's move on to the browser to see how it's working. So let's move on to the browser. So now here we are going to visit the local 3000 class user file. Now we can just reload this particular page. So here you can see the loader. So give me some delay so that you can easily see it. So for this we can create a small delay over here by using await. New promise method. We can give a resolve. Inside that we can give a set timeout of we give a delay of 2 seconds to it so that you can easily see the delay. So for this I can type it as a resolve, and we can give a 2 second delay. Now it is a 2 second delay so that we can keep that spinner over there on the browser. So let's move on to the browser. So now when we just reload this particular page, so now you can see the black spinner over here which is loading, saying that the page is loading, and after that once the 2 second complete, it does display the data over. So when it is loading, and after that the data is loading file. Now this is how we can implement the loading state in for our component. Now let's implement the next we going to implement the error file instead. For this we have to create as we have created the loading file for the loading spinner to see, so we can also create in order to show the error state, we also need to create a separate file for this. For this we can create a new file with the name error.js. Again, after that we are creating a separate function for this, like export default. Then we can create a function and we give a name to error page to it. Error page and interface of a parameter will it get error parameter as error, which is of type error. This is of type error. Okay. After that, we can give a function. Then we can make a return statement to it. We can make a return statement. Of this we have a div. In that div we can give a tailwind session like class flex name, then flex items center, justify center, fetch screen. After that we have another div enter this. We have another div showing the message of error. We have showing the message like error fetching, error fetching users data. Okay. After that we can give a tailwind tracer truth like text to accept, then text red to under. Okay. Now we can also implement as the error is implementing on the client side, so we can use the client directory on top of that. So I have used the use client over there. Then we can import. We're going to import the use effect for this. So inside this we can use the use effect. It is a callback function with which hold the empty array. So in this we can display the console log error also. Console log. We can give a backtext. We can give a dollar to it, error. Inside this we can give error to it. Then if we got error, we can pass a dependency to it. If the error is changed, then it will be displaying that particular thing. Already imported the use effect and already imported the use client, because use effect is a client call. Use effect is the used on the client side, so we can implement the use client on top of that. So now here you can see your error page is also completed, and now we are going to implement this in the user server. So for this, I'm making some error on page error inside the page.js. So that we have to create error for this, so that we can see the error page on this working how. So I just need to change the API so that we can get the error on the browser. So I just remove the. I can type add employees. I can just add the separate endpoint. So now let's go to the browser and see what error we show on the browser. So here you can see the error. Here the loading is working, but here you can see the error fetching data, but it is not visible to you. Let me change the color of it so that you can easily visible to it. I think it may be 500. So that it could be see properly. So here now you can see that when we hit the API of this of employee, here error fetching data is called. Here we are getting the issue that your users are not matching, that we are fetching basically the user, but we are making an API call to our employee. So this is how the error and loading state is implemented in the server component. Okay. So for this, I hope you can easily understand how the loading and the error state is work in the server component, or how we can create a separate file and how to implement in the server component effectively. So using loading.js and error.js in server component is a simple and effective way to handle loading and error state without extra logic or boilerplate code in your main component. It keeps your component clean, improve user experience, and take full advantage of both server component offering frameworks like NextJs. If you are building modern React app, this effective for a pattern you should start using today. So, alright, so I hope you found it helpful and learned something new. If you did, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Also, let me know in the comment what topic you would like to me cover next. I love hearing from you. For more tutorial tips and projects, make sure to check out my new blog, webcodingwithinput.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.